We have high knot here, which is a reset button for your high. So I'm excited to learn more.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Antoine Awad, and I'm here to introduce you to High Knot. Before we dive into the presentation, I would like to ask how many of you had or know someone who had a negative cannabis experience? To answer the question, exactly, right? We all do. Chances are we all do, right? Let me tell you about High Knot, the fast-acting recovery shot that we brought to the market a couple of months ago. And then, at the end, we can open up for Q&A, and if someone want to tell their stories, more than welcome. Right? So during today's presentation, we will be covering a few topics in relation to High Knot. So number one is going to be the marijuana use in the US, the strain landscape, user landscape, use cases, formulation. We'll dive a tiny bit in the ingredient, and then we'll open it up. So High Knot is a category maker, right? As a few months ago, there wasn't a product in the market made specifically to ease the high of cannabis. And High Knot, through its unique formula, aims to create a safety net for cannabis users. Hopefully, after we walk you through the presentation, the takeaway would be, how come something like this did not exist before? So before we talk more about High Knot, let's have a quick overview about the cannabis industry and landscape. Lately, it's been the talk of the town on a federal level, on a state level, even on a city level. But how big of an industry the cannabis space really is? Today, you have around 246 million people living in the US that are in a cannabis-friendly state, and its popularity is rising. So 78 million people have used marijuana, and around 35 million use it on a monthly basis. The industry is booming with every state legalizing it. Actually, just last week, a new study says that daily marijuana users outpace daily drinkers in the US. On average, 17 versus 15 million. So it's a couple of million more, but here we are. This is where we are today. However, this is not your grandpa's weed anymore. With increase of usage and turning from an illegal drug to an actual industry, the race to have the strongest strain and the genetics breeding of this plant made the THC potency much, much higher. The current slide is a study done by University of Mississippi to showcase the increase of THC potency going from 4% to over 15% in the past 2 decades. However, now you walk into any dispensary in the US, and on average, you're going to see THC, you're going to see pre-rolls and gummies in the upwards of 40% THC, with an average of 25%. This is where the average is. It increases the chances of a negative experience for users, including people who smoke regularly. With an increase of use and an increase of potency, ER visits shot through the roof. The CDC study done in 2022 showcased that there were around 2,600 ER visits due to marijuana overuse. This was conducted for people just under the age of 24. So now imagine that number for the entire population. Side note here, let me tell you how High Knot became to be. It was after a messy experience, to say the least. A couple of years ago, my 78-year-old mother-in-law visiting, she was fighting insomnia. She told me that she hadn't slept in 3 days. So me being me, I gave her a 2.5 mg THC sleep gummy. For most people, a 2.5 mg THC is a great starting point, right? They say start slow and then increase it. We start with 2.5. Well, that was not the case for my mother-in-law. Let me tell you, that was not a fun night. In addition to my wife being very unhappy, we ended up in the ER that night. And a few weeks later, we got an $11,000 medical bill. Did I mention it was December 23rd? Yep. Christmas dinner was very interesting that year. Anyhow, that experience is how High Knot eventually came to be. So yeah, from personal experience, I'm confident that there are definitely more than 2,600 ER visits on a weekly basis. At a minimum, 2,601 that week. We just discussed the usage of cannabis and how it's increasing daily, the strain potency and how it dramatically increased in correlation to ER visits. But are people actually looking for a product like this? Unfortunately, the sales data are still behind on this since the category doesn't exist. But I can tell you people are searching for such remedies. A quick Google search trend showcased that since 2004, searches for solution to the problem we're discussing have been steadily increasing, and that goes hand in hand with the statistics we discussed before regarding potency and market penetration. Let's cover who we think High Knot is for. To simplify things, we can say it's for every marijuana users, but as marketeers, we like to complicate things and create personas. The way I describe this product is every home that has THC should have a bottle or two of high knot nearby. The way I describe it, you normally don't buy Advil at the moment of, when you have a headache. You buy it in case you have a headache. Same with high knot. You should have it just in case, for weed hangs, curious first timers, or anyone who experimenting with different strains or product formats. I'm not going to bore you with too much science, but high knot was formulated by a licensed compounding pharmacist using plant-based water-soluble ingredients for fast acting. The way it works is very simple. We know that THC binds to a CB1 and CB2 receptors, and high knot has a high dose of terpenes where it competes on the same receptors, basically to influence the psychoactive experience, thus easing your high. Every ingredient in high knot was made specifically for the reason that eases that high. As an example, tyrosine and ceticoline helps you focus, L-theanine to relax, whereas black pepper, known as piperine as well, and limonene and alpha-penine, those are the terpenes that compete on those receptors to make high knot what it is today. Hopefully, you are as excited as we are to expand awareness of this product in the market, to bring comfort to millions of people who are experiencing cannabis for the first time or are experienced users. Thank you for your time. This is the whole presentation. We're going to open it up for Q&A right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have some comments in the chat that I'll go ahead and read aloud. And then in the meantime, reporters, please feel free to drop any questions that you may have in the Q&A or chat feature. Deeb is a owner and editor of the Contest Corner. Would love to hear more about how it actually works.
Sure. So there are actually plenty of studies. Well, plenty is taken with a grain of salt. There are 3 or 4 studies that the first one was done in 2011 on how to tame THC high. And most of the work is coming out of several countries in Europe, Israel, and now hopefully with the schedule from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, we're going to have more studies. So we based our ingredient list on 3 different studies. One that talks about black pepper, and we can share all these studies with you after this call. So the black pepper extract has been kind of an old tale remedy to tame THC high. But the actual 2 studies were done on alpha-penine and ceticoline. And these are terpenes made specifically to tame your high. The first study was done in 2011. And as of 4 to 6 weeks ago, the latest study on limonene was done also to tame THC high. All those ingredients that the study were made upon were basically, part of our ingredient list. And we just finalized our own research as well, done by a third-party lab on the efficacy of high knot. And we literally just got the results back. We have an efficacy rate of over 87% success rate of people getting their high tamed within the first 15 to 30 minutes. And we have 100% success rate of people recommending this product to others. We literally just got it yesterday. So we haven't finalized the press release yet, but this is kind of how high knot works in a nutshell.
Wow, that's amazing. Nora here, who's a freelance journalist, some of her work includes from InStyle, Town and Country, Los Angeles Times, Condé Nast Traveler. She said, brilliant new category.
Thank you. Thank you, Nora.
Kennedy just said, never heard of anything like this. How amazing. Awesome. Deeb said, oh my gosh, what a scary experience. I think this was from your earlier story, a scary bill to receive.
Yeah, now we can smile about it, right? Back then it wasn't that funny. It wasn't funny at all, actually. And now, yeah, she's fine. She's doing great. She wanted to try it again, but I said, let's hold off for now.
And then we have Deborah here from Computer Talk Radio. She said, I'm interested in this because of her experience with cancer treatment. I got high on far too little and then couldn't function. So I want to know if it should be safe for a cancer patient who is working to kill cancer or to minimize pain.
We don't have the studies to back it up, to be honest with you. So I would hate for me to make claims, medical claims, especially regarding cancer treatment, from the basic of it, right? Because it's supplement at the end. It's everything that we have is plant based, and none of the turbines are cannabis derived. They're all natural plant based, and what we try to aim with high knot is basically just to target the CB1 and CB2 receptors to remove the euphoric effect. So if someone is using THC because of a cancer treatment for nausea or pain, that should not interfere with that. But this is basically, the science overall. It hasn't been tested to say that, as a cancer patient, if I'm taking THC and then I'm taking high knot, if this is going to interfere with that or not. But again, all the studies made are just to target the CB1 and CB2 receptors. So it shouldn't.
Thank you. Deeb, just another comment from Contest Corner. It sounds like this could be fantastic for medical patients. Do you have any case studies any case studies that you'd like to share?
Not on medical patients, no, not at this stage. So just bear in mind, we launched 2 months ago. Literally, this is a brand new product. So we've done the first study that was finalized yesterday. Hopefully, we're gonna go and do more. And throughout the year, our aim is to have a preclinical trial and then a clinical trial to get an FDA approval eventually.
Okay, and then just another comment here from Deeb. Tamping down on the psychoactive effects would be great for those who are chronically ill and using cannabis for pain, but don't want the euphoric effects.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Bip.
All right. Any other questions, reporters? Please feel free to drop them in the Q&A and chat feature now, and I'll go ahead and read those loud. And I also want to remind you, the reporters, that samples and press releases can be requested on mediaandmerch.com. We'll hang on here for a couple more minutes. What's the price point for the high knot?
So we have 4 SKUs. Let me just go back and sorry, just wait a second. All right, so we have 4 SKUs for high knot, 2 extra strength and 2 regular strength. It comes in 4 flavors. The regular strength is $9.99 and the extra strength is $14.99.
Wonderful. And then
sorry, $13.99. Sorry, $13.99.
All good.
Yeah.
Deeb again just says, I assume this is legal in all states as it's not cannabis derived. Is that correct?
Correct. This is a supplement, pure supplement. There isn't any cannabis derived ingredients in it. All the ingredients in it you can find into any Sprouts or any supermarkets that is known for a supplement line, and you can find all the ingredients on their shelf.
Awesome. I think that the questions have slowed down in the chat. We'll hang on here for a couple more moments just to see if anything else comes through. But if not, thank you so much for this great presentation. And again, media samples and press releases can be requested on mediaandmerch.com.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Fantastic product. Thank you so much, Antoine. I wish you best of luck with those.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a good day.
Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.